Previously on Survivor, the merge has arrived. However, Morgan and Angie continued to be on the bottom, and after Angie's immunity win, Morgan became the target. Amanda and Tim began to set up their endgame, but Josh had other plans in mind.
I told Sadie that Amanda threw her name out on Saturday night, which I was planning on telling her anyway, but she actually did say it, so it's not like I made it up and lied.
Morgan tried to flip the vote onto Amanda.
Apparently, Amanda and Josh were talking game at the party last night. And apparently Amanda threw Sadie's name out.
That's what I heard.
But despite her best efforts,
Actually, none of you have to worry at this point. I think Amanda's the only person playing the game.
Morgan was voted out and became the first member of the jury. 10 are left, who will be voted out tonight.
At Tribal, I knew I would get a vote from Morgan and a vote from Angie. But we get to Tribal, and Morgan's like, yeah, here's Amanda. She's the only one playing this game. You guys, she's such a target. Like, what are you doing? I'm such a weak person. Like, don't vote me out. I'm only good at Bolo. Morgan called me out, and I was flying under the radar, but now I can't because everyone apparently now thinks of me as a target.
Guys, Broomballs this Thursday.
Oh, cool.
Now, I actually think Dane is the person I can trust the most, which is such a complete 180 from how things were. During Tribal with Morgan, he did the little salt shaker thing, indicating that, she was salty.
Oh yeah, drinks on whoever voted her out.
I told her, I was like, I'll see you in minutes, I'll buy you a drink.
That's fine.
Post-merge.
Okay, good.
Morgan, you're my hero because you made Tribal very interesting, and I applaud you for being awesome and hilarious and going out with a bang.
Who is for? Just which one the mic?
I'm sure you're wondering where that third vote came from, and it came from me. I told Morgan I wouldn't vote for her. At Tribal, Morgan was kind of roasting everyone for making the easy choice. Even if I got out the next week, I didn't really want to go back on my word because I told her I wouldn't.
I was a little tense, but I'm glad someone finally did speak up though.
Yeah.
It was getting boring.
That wasn't a bad move.
No, it made sense.
No, if I felt like if I were that much in danger, I would have done that too. And so as much as I wanted to sass and talk back to her, I understand.
You guys scared?
So before this past week, I was thinking Morgan's the easy vote. I'm in a great position. I feel like I've all the votes on my side. Everything's kind of lining up for me to do really well in this game. And then all the stuff gets said at the Tribal. I'm thinking maybe this isn't the best move. That we're just getting the easy person out.
Everything's obviously gonna change. I don't think there's gonna be any more unanimous votes.
But for now on, we got to start making things a little bit more interesting. Just because if you don't get the strong players out now, it's gonna be too late by the time you want to.
Before Morgan's vote, everyone that I've talked to, they were telling me that they're gonna go for Amanda after.
Yeah, that's what everyone's thinking. But beyond me, I was her main person.
Angie's on the outs, and I'm thinking this is kind of relationship I can build. I text her, I'm like, hey, I know things have been kind of weird ever since Jasmine. And while Angie's screwed up a ton, she's put the effort in.
If we just keep doing this easy vote to the end, I don't think it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out for somebody because they're lucky.
It's an easy vote again. That's the thing, though. If everyone just agrees to get Amanda out, it's another easy vote. So
that leaves
why
that leaves a lot of power players in there. I'll count myself as a power player just for the sake of saying it. But Doug, Santi, Sadie, I consider those four really strong players.
I feel like everyone's just being dumb and voting out with voting easy people out. At this point, after merge, you would think that a lot of the stronger players would want to get each other out. It's just very laughable because not a lot of people so far, it seems want to actually get one of them out when it should be one of them getting out at this point. Who do you want out, I guess, is a good question because it's kind of, you don't want Amanda out, right?
I don't want Amanda out, but I don't think I can stop it.
I thought it was you, Tim. You, Amanda, and Dane. And then
it wasn't up to a point, especially when we were on the other tribe together. We got stuck with you guys.
Stuck with us. Wow, Tim. It's very difficult, guys. This game is very hard on you if you are on the out, and I know a lot of people are trying to use me at this point because they don't think of me as a threat and they just want me for votes and everything. I'm okay with that.
Just talked to Angie earlier, 1 o'clock-ish.
Angie, okay.
Just be hey, I know stuff got weird, but I just wanted to see where she was at. And it seems like she's really just up for grabs.
My relationship with Dane and Amanda, they're both very good. I was very close with Amanda before this, and I still am very close. and I'm really trying to fight for her to keep in because it makes sense for me, strategically, to keep her in. I really trust working with Dane. After all this time he's been with us, I think at this point, like, I trust him wholeheartedly.
Amanda and I are definitely like all cool, all good. We wanted to talk to you about like how you feel about other people in the game.
I think I definitely trust Doug still. I think I trust Santi.
Okay.
Outside of that, like, I trust Amanda, I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So either we say like we want to get our strong player now, which I don't think we have the votes for it. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Or we say Josh.
Who's our strong player now? Santi? But now that I'm here, now that I've fucking hit merge and made the top 10, I want to win, and it's goddamn hard because so many good people are left, and I feel like I can't make all these strong moves. Beggars can't be choosers, honestly, and when you realize that there are people who are stronger than you in the game, you need to work with people who are below you, and everyone knows that in this game. Tim knows that, that's why he's working with Amanda. How do you feel about Santi? I know you said you trust him. You think it's too early?
I think we'd upset more than like we do good. I feel like you and me are like in the middle-ish.
We're definitely the mid-tier players, I think.
The key. That is major
key.
Yeah.
Eventually we're gonna need to take out strong players though, like especially before it gets down to real like short numbers. Like if it comes down to 6 and there's still strong players, then that could be really bad.
If Sadie, Doug, and Santi are left in 6, like I'm screwed.
You know, people are gunning for Amanda, and as soon as she gets taken out, I lose a lot of power because she is someone who will help me stay in and look good by comparison. But against other people like Sadie, I don't look nearly as strong.
Alright. How you doing? I'm glad that we're talking.
Yeah, same. Amanda's told me that we should be on pretty much the same page.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a weird position because like I've been working with Sadie and Doug since they like were kind of the ones who saved me.
Right.
But like I obviously don't know where I like am in that equation. So that's why I want to talk to Amanda at least and be like, yo, like I'm open to working with you. Like no matter like
It seems like Dane, Amanda, and Tim are a lot closer than some people thought. That like Dane is a part of that trio. That Dane is close to Amanda. And that's just another reason it's important to get Amanda out. I think that the sides are pretty 7-3 at this point, with the 3 being Amanda, Tim, and Dane. That, in my mind, is why we have to get rid of Amanda to bring it down to 2. And then, with 9 people left, the 2 of them would have to get 3 more people to vote one of us out.
A lot of people think you have the idol too.
I don't.
Mean, I know you've said that to everybody so far.
It's just like I feel like by this point in the game we would know like who has at least one of the idols, like for sure. Like just like what if someone has like 3 of them?
Going into this game, I never thought I would make it as far as Micah did, but I've made it this far, and I really think I can do it at this point. I definitely want to beat out Micah. I want to have those bragging rights. Micah brags about a lot of other things, so I want to brag to him about Survivor and take away what he had before, so I can be better at it than him.
Just like if we like all really stuck together and like just like picked off like Amanda and then Tim or whoever.
Right. So like you, Doug.
Santi, Delaram, like would be part of that voting block. And
Like
I guess since we need, yeah.
So I'm still really close with Sadie, Doug, and Santi. I think that's a pretty tight foursome for now. I think that we all know that if we stick together, we can do better than if we split up and if we start fracturing, or at least I hope they know that.
Yeah, we just have to make sure no one like tries to flip, and like we're all committed to it. Which like I know I am, and like I believe Doug is, and I believe you are.
Right.
Yeah, definitely feel closest with Sadie. For now, my plan really is to try to like stick with how things are going and make it to a point in the game, and then at that point try to rally people to either get like Santi and Doug out or something.
I think it'll be so good to get Amanda out, because then like Tim and Dane are probably gonna go to each other, and it's like I don't think they'll be able to draw in.
They're not gonna really
like
be able
Abby,
to do it.
like they're not like Abby's not gonna be like, yeah, I like you guys a lot.
Yeah. I've been hearing whispers that like Amanda has been like throwing my name around. So at this point it's like she's coming after me, so I guess like I'm gonna go after her before she gets to me. I feel like a lot of people at this point feel that like I'm like running the game or whatever, and like I have all this power. So I think she could easily just persuade people that like I would be the easy vote, because like you gotta get me out eventually, or like I'm gonna like win the game. So like I would hop on that bandwagon if I thought it was like someone else.
One of the hard parts might be like getting Tim out, just because like I know like Santi and Doug are like friends with him like outside of the game, so like they might be like kind of hesitant, you know.
Yeah,
just
but we just have
like,
to convince them.
I just think that like right now the easy votes are good for me, because it's like I'm at the top, and like I think Doug like agrees, like for right now like these kinds of votes are really good for us, because we're kind of trimming down the people who are at the bottom that would be like, wow, we're at the bottom, we need to rally, which is like I don't understand why they haven't already done that. So that's why I think like maybe if they really wanted to, they could do it this tribal, but for right now we're trying to like chop off the people at the bottom, so like they don't have the numbers to like come back and like revolt. I don't know.
It's outside.
well, okay, so I was like, I literally have like 3 minutes left.
Go in your room, it's all crazy there.
Yeah. Welcome back, Final 10. Tim, how does it feel to be at the halfway point?
I mean, I'm just glad I'm better than every single person that's gotten out so far. as in general, like.
Before we get to the next immunity challenge, Angie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it back. Individual immunity is back up for grabs. The winner of this will get another idol clue to give to another player, and will have a 1 in 9 shot at winning this game. Before we get to the challenge, we're going to have a little bit of a pre-challenge quiz. I'm going to put out a link for a Google Docs quiz. During this time, there will be no communication with each other. You are to answer this quiz in your personal opinion, honestly.
Who's the most attractive? I don't know who to put, because overall it's Santi, because like duh, but I think I have to go with him. But like I'd pick Dalaran, you know, like I'd rather fall in love with Dalaran than Santi. Actually, I take that statement back.
The quiz you just completed, all the answers have been compiled. There's now majority answers for each question. This challenge is called Touchy Subjects, and here's how it works. You'll each get cards with each player's name on it. I'm going to ask you the same questions you just answered. You will then show me the answer you believe is the majority opinion. It may not be yours, but it's what you think the majority has said. If you get the answer correct, you have the opportunity to go up and take one of the other players' names from the wall. Once all 3 of their names have been taken off, they are out of this challenge and they cannot win immunity. The last player with names on the wall wins immunity. Come up here and take one.
Angie.
Grab my name.
All right. The first question is, who least deserves to be here? Reveal in 3, 2, 1. All right. Abby, Dane, Josh, Doug, and Sadie all said Angie. Amanda said Abby. Delram said Josh. Angie said Dane. And Tim also said Abby. Oh, and then Santi said Amanda. The majority opinion thought the person who least deserves to be here, Angie, which means Abby Dane, Josh, Doug, and Sadie all get to choose who is the first person who's going to lose a card. Abby rips off Amanda's first one. Angie loses her first one. Josh taking Tim's.
Sure.
Doug, thinking about it. I'm going with Angie. Angie is down to 1. And just like that, Angie is out of this challenge. And after 1 round, 1 person is already out. The next question is, who is most likely to stab you in the back? 3, 2, 1, reveal. All right, so Dane, Josh, and Sadie all said Amanda is the most likely to stab you in the back. Abby and Tim both said Santi is the least trustworthy. Amanda said Sadie is the most likely to stab you in the back. Delaram said Tim. And then Doug and Santi said Angie. The correct answer is Amanda, which means Dane, Josh, and Sadie all get to take another name. So, Dane. Dane takes Abby's. Takes Amanda's second. Call her most likely to stab her in the back and took her out of this challenge. Amanda, that's all of yours. I'm sorry you're out of this challenge. Who is most likely to win Survivor Major Conflict? Reveal in 3, 2, 1. All right, Dane, Tim, Josh, and Doug all said Sadie. Abby and Delaram both said Santi. And Santi and Sadie both said Doug. The correct answer, Doug, which means Santi and Sadie. Santi, you get to pick first. Santi going for Abby's second one. Is Sadie gonna go in for the kill? Nope, she's taking out Doug's. Most likely to... He said it was okay. Well, you need his permission. Next question. Who is the most trustworthy? All right, reveal in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Tim says it himself. Dane and Abby both said Doug. Delaram said Sadie. Josh and Doug said Delaram. And then Santi and Sadie both said Abby. The correct answer, or should I say answers, were Delaram and Abby. All right, so Josh, Doug, Santi, Sadie. And just like that, Abby, you're out. And Santi loses his first. Doug just took out one of Santi's. Is Santi going to return the favor? No, he's going to take out one of Sadie's. And Delaram loses her first. The next question. Who is the dark horse of the game? The unlikely person who rises to prominence and wins. 3, 2, 1. All right, so Dane, Tim, and Santi all said Tim is the dark horse here. Delaram and Josh both said Dane is the dark horse. And then Doug and Sadie both said that Josh is the dark horse. The correct answer is Josh, which means Sadie and Doug, you get to go again. So Doug wants to make them even, goes for Josh, switches to Dane. Everyone is now down to 2. Who is the most attractive? 3, 2, 1. Ooh, all right. So, Dane, Delaram, Tim, Josh, Josh and Sadie all said Santi is the most attractive. Doug and Santi both said Delaram is the most attractive. The correct answer is Santi is the most attractive. And Tim loses one. We have a turn. So, Tim, you have lost the challenge, but you still get, because you got the correct answer, you still get to take one. And Tim is not going to take it. So nice. Or I guess Delaram. Who has no chance of winning? 3, 2, 1. Everyone says Angie. The correct answers were Angie and Dane. And Dane is down to 1. And Santi takes Dane out. And Doug ripped another one of Santi's names off.
You know that.
Alright. And just like that, everyone has 1. We're down to the final 4. Alright. Who needs a mute button? Reveal in 3, 2, 1. Reveal. So, Delram said Angie, Sadie, Doug, and Santi all said Tim. Because you can't rip off your own, this means one of you 3 will win this challenge. Because the order matters, the first to go will be Sadie, then Santi, then Doug. And just like that, Delaram, you are out of this challenge. And Doug does not win immunity. And Santi is out of this game. Doug took all 3 of Santi's, which means congratulations, Sadie, you have won individual immunity. Alright, so congratulations, Sadie. You now have a 1 in 9 chance at winning this game. For the rest of you, one of you is going to become the second member of the jury and will have no shot at winning this game. We've got 2 days to figure it out. Other than that, I got nothing for you. You're free to go.
There's a meter I don't play, and for the second week in a row, I have the clue. So I'm thinking, come on, Sam, you gotta do this. Like, this boy's getting frustrating. It's getting pathetic. How many more clues do you need for to find this thing? So who do I trust the most? I trust Doug the most. So behind Josh's back, I'm kind of like, I show the clue to Doug. I'm like, hey, Doug, we should get this person out. And it said 4 stairs to the right. And he looks at it and he goes, all right, sounds good. And we kind of have an idea where it is. The problem is that it's like very out in the open. Like, you have to walk across the staircase and like rummage through backpacks looking for this thing. And it's there. Like, I know it's there, but I also know that I can't find it. Like, without everybody seeing me have it.
So basically that challenge was really bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Because...
You sliced it.
No, it was so bad. It was so fun, but it was really bad because, like, everyone got exposed. I honestly, the end of this challenge sucked. I think everyone was playing stupid. Everyone was, like, taking the easy people out, which is fine, but, like, do that at Tribal. I think it really showed who was at the top and who, like, was working together. And then who was on the bottom and who people were willing to just like take the 3 out, like get them out right away. Everyone was scared to take Santi's name down. Like literally nobody did except for me, but whatever. Y'all dumb.
Feels good. Confidence booster to get most attractive. I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I definitely see myself as in the top 4 or 5 people.
Everyone realized Amanda and Angie knew they're on the bottom. Yeah. Abby and like Tim found that they're in like and Dane are in like the middle ground. Like, if people are smart, they'd clearly do something about it, but I don't know how smart everyone is, so. I feel like winning the most likely to win definitely painted a good target on my back. I think people still trust me, but like, I feel like that's a good reason for them to get me out a little later in the game, which is really scary. The problem is, I feel like I'm playing a great, like, 4th place game right now, which makes me nervous because a lot of people see what I'm doing, but not really. So like they're scared to vote me out, but like if they only need 3 people to vote me out, I feel like that's possible. No, I don't think you understood the implications.
I understand the implications. People are much more likely to make a move because they understand where they stand. But I think you're underestimating people to begin with. I think people knew. Maybe not so.
No.
People have an idea.
No.
You're underestimating people, Doug.
Yeah, so I know, like, a lot of people are gunning for me.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I'm really open to anything that's not me.
So after the challenge, I knew it was not a matter of, oh, like, I think we should vote for this person. Okay, like, easy, said and done. It was, please do not fucking write my name down.
I would be down to pull a big move at this point.
Tim was, like, kind of talking about it, but then as soon as we realized, like, Sadie's now against me. No, I think someone, like, must have told her something. I think it could have been Doug. Like, I mean, honestly, like...
Just someone to turn her against you think? Just like
yeah, but I don't see why Doug would do that. I don't really want to vote for Angie, though. I just don't think, like, it's our best, like...
I feel like it would be smarter to go for, like, Santi or something like that.
Josh and Angie are closer than I realized, and I think that they'll vote together and not vote for me. if we vote for someone who they see as a threat. Angie and I do have some common ground. Like, it's not like Angie and I hate each other. I don't really think it's like that, at least. I still don't really know whether I can trust Josh, but I think Josh and her trust each other, so that's 2 votes.
You have no interest in working with Santi?
No, I do. I'm just more and more worrisome of threats in this game, especially seeing that, like, the final, like, people up there at that challenge were, like, 4 people that could definitely win. Like, I feel like will win this game if someone's on the jury against them, or, like, in the final tribal council.
Delaram and Sadie stayed up there. It's like, okay, well, like, even if I were closer with Sadie, Sadie's always going to take Delaram.
Yeah, for sure. Also, because I don't know if you know what Santi and Doug's relationship is with Tim, but, like, I feel like they're closer than, like, they're letting on.
They're closer than they're letting on in real life. Like, they hang out, like, every weekend in real life, but Doug is like, I want to win this game, and Tim's like, I want to win this game. And, like, they know that if Santi's here, like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you more and more.
Awesome.
And, like, oh, like, I didn't know Josh that well 2 weeks ago, but it's like now it makes way more sense for me to work with you than down the line than other people.
I just think this would be an awesome time to strike.
Yeah, I just think
me, you, Tim, Dane, like, confidently.
Yeah.
Just 4. Angie. And then we would just have to call or try to drag in Doug or Sadie.
If Amanda comes to me with a big plan, saying she has the numbers, it's definitely something you have to weigh seriously, because that's the point of this game. You have to play it tribal by tribal, minute by minute, with the information you have at that moment.
We would have a majority going forward.
I've heard, like, you might be voting for me. Doug and Sadie are definitely controlling this entire game right now. They are the 2 people that have relationships with everyone. I basically have to talk to Sadie and try and convince her, like, it's not in her best interest to vote for me, it's in her best interest to maybe vote for Santi. And try and convince her that I'm not going to flip on her, even though I'm 100% totally going to flip on her.
I'm gonna be straight up. I probably will vote for you tonight just because, like, I've, like, heard that you've been, like, throwing my name around, like.
I don't know really where you heard that, like, I wanted you out. It was more just that, like, I didn't think I could sit in the end with you, but that wasn't even because I didn't want to. It was because I don't think you'd take me. At the end of the challenge, when there's Santi, Doug, Delaram, and Sadie left, and Delaram says, oh yeah, like, go ahead, Sadie, take my name. I think Delaram knew it didn't matter whether she won or Sadie won as long as one of them won, because they're voting together. They're probably the closest 2 people in this game, and from what everyone's been saying, Delaram will always be loyal to Sadie. Why would Sadie not just take her to the end? Sadie would easily beat her. And then also, Abby, not a big threat. Abby's gonna vote with Delaram, that makes sense. Sadie takes her to the end. So why work with Sadie if you know that those are the 2 people going to the end? If you are not Delaram or Abby, it does not make sense for you to work with Sadie.
Like, when do you see another possibility to get Santi out?
Like, I see he is a threat in the game, but I think that,
And
like,
he's flipped back and forth.
right, and like
more than anyone else.
I don't think I have, like, any qualms about him flipping for right now, and I think I could definitely just, like, go for him before it went to me.
Like, I think we should definitely still go with Amanda this week.
No, I'm
That's for
definitely
sure.
Amanda, but next week I'm gonna still try to convince Doug, but, like, I also don't know how hard I want to push, because, like, if they are a thing, like, they could just turn on me and do it.
Yeah.
You know? So Doug won most likely to win, which is, like, kind of good for me, because I hope it, like, makes people realize that, like, he should be the one everyone's targeting. Like, not that I really want to paint a target on his back, but, like, it's really, like, not me that is, like, running the vote. Like, it's Doug. I think the 2 main threats that I face right now are Doug and Santi, just because, like, they're both, like, really likable, and they both actually, like, played this game very well. But, like, Doug, Tim, and Santi are definitely, like, they were all friends before, and so, like, I don't know their, like, dynamic. Part of me kind of wants to break up that trio, so after, I think we get Amanda out hopefully this week. I'd rather just do Tim, because I was like, break up the trio in case they doesn't, you know?
Exactly.
I think Tim, Dane, and Amanda, like, could actually be a thing. Like, they're.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you get Amanda out, then we get Tim out, and, like, Dane's lawyer, then we can also just get Tim out.
We just can't do it without Santi and Doug's votes.
We could.
You think we could?
So
and
it'd
Angie
be
trusts me. I can tell
me,
Angie.
Angie, Abby, Delaram. That's 5.
That is 5, yeah. Because I'm like getting more worried about Santi.
It said a lot to me that the last 4 people standing in that challenge were the other, like, 4 members of my 5-person, like, voting alliance. I mean, yeah, it shows that they're at the top, but knowing that they're at the top, I'm okay with that, because if there's a blindside, it's gonna be one of them. It felt really good to be voted dark horse person. I guess it reflects how I want this rest of this game to play out, because I do want to rise and make big moves getting out some of my alliance later. At some point I'm gonna have to switch from dark horse to leading horse, so I'll figure out when that moment is and strike then.
Like, I'm not that close with Dane or Tim. I met with Dane yesterday. So I don't really know.
Okay, I was thinking
them.
Angie, just because like
with Sadie.
after she was just like such a wild card, but like yeah, Tim and Dane.
Yeah, Angie's not. She can't really do anything. I feel like.
I know.
What do you think about like Santi and Tim's relationship? Like they went off. Like, I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I just
so
don't know how close they
they literally had. So us two like knew each other before that. You probably know that.
Yeah.
So like, them two have never talked.
Really?
Yeah, and then like individually. Basically since the game, except for the one time they go to like Jasmine, so like, they actually had to.
It seems pretty set that it's gonna be Amanda tomorrow.
I think so.
Because I talked to like you and Sadie. I know that.
So I'll talk to.
Like I assume Santi's super down with it.
And I don't think anyone found the idol at the challenge.
That challenge did really well because actually I talked to you a lot and Mike.
Oh shit, my phone's on upstairs.
On the board. It's fine. I can just do a mini confessional. I'm voting Josh out next. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't want to vote Amanda out, but every single other person wants to, so like, whatever.
I'm just gonna stick with the plan for now. Get Amanda out this week, so it weakens the Tim Dane alliance, and then I know I can hold on to Angie's vote. So
yeah, I like it. Okay. You're getting a different angle of this.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was really rough to see people just went after Angie. I don't understand why there's all this disdain for her. It's just like, she's a nice girl, and she was like put in this hard position after like the Jasmine vote, and after having Morgan voted off. I don't think she's least deserving to be here. I think Abby is, and I voted for that.
Yeah, I talked to Sadie, Doug, and Santi yesterday, and
All together? Or?
No, separately.
Okay. Angie's pretty close with me, and Angie I think will go for anyone that's not her, basically, if we ask her to do that.
I know Amanda's gonna go home. I talked to Josh and said he's voting Amanda. Santi's 100% voting Amanda.
Yeah,
Sadie's
thanks.
100% voting. Like, it's a lost cause, and like, I want to save her, but there's nothing I can do.
Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
I had to fight so hard this whole game. Everyone with Amanda out for so long. I've literally fought so hard to keep her, and I don't see her like being able to give me the benefits that I'm putting in. So I think it's just best to cut it, have Tim come to me, and then me and Tim can take this thing.
I highly doubt Sadie would keep me around. I'm sure like in a few weeks she's gonna go to you and be like, we're gonna set to 7.
I agree.
I guarantee it.
I think she's gonna think that sooner than later too.
Yep.
And I think Josh has already thinks
What?
that.
What? That'll go home?
Not yet, but like
soon.
I hate Josh. I don't like hate Josh. I like a little bit hate Josh. He pulled 2 of my name tags off the wall. I don't know what problem he has with me, but he's been throwing my name around, and I'm not a fan right now.
You can definitely solidify Dane. So that'd be 3 of us. If you got rid of me, do you feel like you'd be safe? Like through to the end with Santi and Sadie? Do you think they just keep you to the end and then beat jury votes?
I think I'd have a shot at that.
But I think they'd probably beat jury votes.
I think so too.
Like not even close.
I'm aware.
The entire reason he's in this game is because of men. Like it would have been easy for me. I was just not thinking long term to be like, all right, like because I would have been third gone. It would have been Sadie, Santi, Dane, me.
Yeah.
But Amanda stuck her neck out, and she's gonna be ranked for it. Why does Sadie want Amanda gone?
Because Steal the Bacon, she was partnered with Amanda and they lost. I swear.
Sadie bothers me sometimes.
Yeah,
I can
because-
totally see it though.
Yeah, she's that competitive.
I'm sure you know, like, everyone's voting for me. Like,
So I've heard my strategy since the merge has been like keep it low and
Yeah.
like not draw attention to myself
makes
because
sense.
like a lot of people see me as a threat, and so I think that's like one of the
Yeah.
reasons my name has been thrown around.
Yeah.
And so like I'm honestly not trying to make any big moves right now.
yeah, if you vote with Sadie, like, you're not gonna make it to the end just because, like,
She's a great player. And
she's a good player and she's smart. She's gonna take Delaron and Abby. Like, like that's gonna be her final 30. Like I just like watched that happen in the challenge. Like I know Abby didn't stay in it, but that's because like people like me were taking her name. But
True.
And like she told me today, earlier you were like before the merge, you were saying like Santi was a threat, like more so than me, like. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna try and like get him out before he gets me out. I'm like, Santi going into the merge was, we gotta get Santi out. Santi's the biggest target. And then no, everyone's afraid to take his name. So, am I missing something here? Is everyone just really close with Santi and his little, him winning most attractive? Oh, is he so charismatic? Is that just like, everyone's just gonna like him now? And not vote him out? I actually had more of a plan to vote out Sadie than to vote out Santi eventually. I was less worried about Santi. Sadie would win challenges and has played a really good strategic game. Santi just flopped back and forth and been fairly lucky. This means way more to me than I like anticipated it would. I mean, I think Sadie's a way bigger threat than you are. Like,
I respect that. Just
I mean, I think you're a threat, but I don't think that it makes sense for people to vote you out soon or now or anything. Like, if people think Sadie's a bigger threat than you, then obviously this week we can't get Sadie, but we can get one of her allies.
Sadie said Josh wanted to blindside one of us. Not tonight, but like the next week. So she just like said it to like tell me. But Sadie like shut that down because she wants Amanda out so bad. She's like, I don't care, like whatever, I want Amanda out.
Doug and I are roommates, and I'm like, I'm not screwing that up just to like make a move that would guarantee my win. Like I'm not gonna do a huge backstab on Doug because he's taking the game seriously, and so am I. But I think I still can win the game without making that move and turning on my closest alliance. So
Well, we need to work with Tim and Dane in the future. We need to cut Josh ASAP.
yeah, we knew he was gonna make a move, but
I didn't think right now. Santi basically told me he wants to take me to the final 2, so that makes me feel good about taking him in the long way. And I think I can beat him because he played a good game up to this point, but like as of right now, he hasn't really like, he's kind of just doing what we say.
Exactly. So all I know is I got my boy Dougie with my back.
I'm talking to Doug about this plan, and we're trying to figure this all out. And I'm getting a little bit upset that like all this stuff's happening, and like visibly upset. And then Doug, like real quick, was like, I have the Pascala idol. I have the Pascala idol. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like I am beyond like salt at this point that he's had this and he hasn't told me. And he's like, oh, you're the only one I've told. I swear, you're the only one I've told. You're the only one I've told. And in 10 minutes, I look over his shoulder, and he's texting Sadie, and Sadie sent a text message, so I'm the only one you've told, LOL. I'm like, Douglas Yeager, what are you doing? Where, first, you lie to me that you don't have the idol, because I've asked him multiple times, to his face, and he's like, yeah, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. And he like, turns out 2 weeks ago we found it.
So it would be the 6th, because we have Amanda and Dane. And those 2 are locked. Those who are like locked? Amanda and Dane are not about to go back on me.
I don't know where I stand with Sadie right now. I feel like I'm still really good with Doug, but Sadie's kind of scaring me and how she plays this game and her relationships, and I don't think she feels any loyalty to me.
Josh? Yeah. I know. Well, he's throwing everybody's name around. And then he turned around, he threw Amanda's name out. He wants Amanda out.
Yeah. He wants everyone out.
Oh, Angie playing. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you? I know there's a lot of people voting Amanda, and now all of a sudden there's a lot of people voting Delaram, I think.
But I don't get it. Like, I thought everyone was voting Amanda, but
No,
why
yeah.
is Amanda telling me she has numbers to vote? Like,
When Doug's talked to Sadie and Doug's brought up like, hey, maybe we should send like Josh, or maybe we should send Angie, or maybe we should send Leah or Delaram, or maybe we should send Abby. Sadie's been like, no. Like, no, we're getting Amanda. We're getting Amanda. She's not willing to work with us. She wants to like ride us out until she can cut us off and use Delaram and Abby to the end, so she's the clear favorite. I believe that 100%. I don't feel like I trust her at all. As a player, she's in the best position to win, and I feel like she has no reason to bring me along. And with this game, throughout this game, I've been making sure like if people are aligned with me, there's a reason they're aligned with me. Like it's the best move in the game for them to be with me. And with Sadie, it's not the best move anymore. And I highly doubt she's gonna stick with me because she's nice.
Like, I think she might actually got people.
who else? Like,
I
she
think-
doesn't have me yet. Like,
I think, okay, so she has, Tim and Dane. So if me, you, and Josh voted either way, it would be like whatever us three decided, I guess. So that'd be a majority, if that makes sense. So she's kind of like banking on us.
I need you to tell me straight up who you want out.
I'd be willing to do whatever you feel comfortable most doing. Basically, Amanda, that's like the easy vote. Like if we want to get, she is like schemy, but then there's also Delron who like will just like vote with whatever like Sadie or Abby do kind of, and like
we all need to be on the same page.
Exactly. I agree. I don't want to look stupid and vote for like someone and then everyone like doesn't trust me because I make the wrong decision, if that makes sense. Like I think we all need to be on the same page for this.
Me and Sadie have both talked so many times. Like she's like, yeah, we're like the Katie and Alex, and like she's basically said like, yeah, I'll vote you out, and like how Katie did, because that was like respectful, but like they still made it to the end together. So like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, here's the thing. Sadie has Delron and Abby pretty locked. 100% locked. Also, any of the three of them go to the finals. So we need either Angie or Josh, or else we're screwed. Like they are, the three of them will go. It makes so much sense for them. It makes sense for Delron and Abby to tag on with Sadie. To be like, oh, we made it to the finals, and it makes sense for Sadie to run it.
All right, welcome back everyone. We're also going to bring in the jury. Morgan voted out at the last tribal council. Angie, you were very explicit with, I'm on the outs, me and Morgan, we're the only one, Morgan's gone. And then during the challenge, you get least deserving to be here, you get least likely to win. I mean, how do you feel right now? Do you feel still on the outs?
I mean, in a sense, yeah, because I feel like no matter who I work with, they already have their, like, the allies at this point. I mean, like, I'm down to work with, like, anyone.
So, Josh, Angie's saying right here, I'm willing to work with anyone. You know, I'm a vote. She is 10% of the vote tonight.
Yeah, you can talk to her and, like, key her into what you're thinking and, like, that you're open to working with her. I mean, she, Kasha, guys stick together to some degree. Not really, but Angie's nice and I like her.
Doug, last time there was a lot of talk about this being an easy vote. Is this vote just as easy? Is it just like, oh, well, Angie's on the outs. Bye, Angie.
Yes, but with a different person, I think. Unfortunately, it just like is how it happened. I think there's been a lot of scrambling and a lot of people have been talking like earlier today and like honestly up to like 10 minutes before. There's been a lot of talk, but I still think that we all are gonna come together on this.
I just hate going back on my word because earlier on in the game, I was like, I don't want to be doing what everyone else is doing, like easy votes are dumb, like it's not the smart move, blah, blah, blah. And in a sense, like right now, I'm kind of leaning towards doing the easy vote because just because of everyone I've talked to, like that's what is going to keep me in the game later on.
Tim.
It's Amanda.
Thank you. Yeah. Like
I was wondering how long we could say it without saying
like...
it. I think this is really not like a typical game of Survivor in that there's no like real two sides. Like we're all pretty close. Like we're all kind of like each other. We're all kind of friendly to each other. It's not like just two main sides going at it. It's a lot of like subplots and stuff like that, which is like interesting, but at the same time it's really confusing. Like, this is probably the most complicated easy vote I've ever seen.
So Amanda, you are the most complicated easy vote. Last time Morgan was going hard against you, saying she's the only one playing this game, she's a huge threat, we need to get her out. I mean, how are you now the easy vote for the only one playing this game?
Well, Morgan painted a nice big red X on my back last week, so that definitely like, I mean, so even though she did go home, she did a good job of saving her ally Angie, I guess I would say. Because now, like, as you said, Angie's not really a target tonight. I have become the easy vote. People really just don't want to go against that majority, but there are enough people who should know that they are 4th or 5th in a different alliance to know that they should flip and that they should vote with me tonight and vote someone else out.
Doug, in the challenge, you were given most likely to win, and Sadie also got a majority of the votes for who they thought would be most likely to win. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it puts a target on your back?
So if some people see me as someone that could win, like will win if they make it to the end, like that gives them a reason to vote me out. But at the same time, it would be stupid if you vote your allies out, like just because you see me as a threat right now. There's so many people left that like if you start turning on your own allies, that you're not going to make it far either. So like there's no point right now in just throwing everything away so far just in order to get me out.
So Sadie, you got immunity in this challenge. How do you feel about, being immune in what seems to be a very sort of tense tribe?
I feel like everyone could agree, having immunity, anytime past the merge is definitely a relief, because honestly, no one's ever really safe, so I'm definitely glad I have it. I know that Amanda has thrown my name out a couple of times, and I feel like if I hadn't won immunity this week, I think it would have been me and her head to head. I think she could have tried to get the most people she could, I would try to get the most people I could, and we would try to just get each other out.
So Amanda, are you noticing more cracks in these 10?
I mean, I definitely noticed at the challenge the other day that, the last 4 or 5 people are probably close with each other and are also well connected among everyone else. One of those people is Sadie. It's worked out so that we're pitted against each other, and she did win, and that's inconvenient for me, and that's probably a big reason and why there's a higher chance of me going home. I definitely don't think that those 4 people are 100% planning to stick with each other until the final 4. At least looking at Sadie's game, in her best interest, it makes sense for her to keep Delaram and Abby around and go to the end with them. So if you're not one of them, you maybe want to rethink what you're doing tonight. I'm voting for Delaram tonight. If anyone's with me, then that's awesome. From who I talked to earlier, there was a majority. There was me and 5 other people who said, yeah, I'd do this if I were in the majority, but I'm not going to be in the majority, so I'm not going to do it. But if all of you do it, you are in the majority.
I think Amanda's doing a good job of what Morgan did last week. She was she kind of gave Amanda a shout out, hey, this person's the one playing the game. She gave her a sort of a backhanded compliment. And here Amanda was saying that's what marked the big X on her back, and that's what she's kind of doing now, which is totally fair. That's her idea, that's what she thinks. So now she's giving the rest of the tribe an idea. Next tribe who could be the easy vote, one of the 3 that she mentioned. So
Unless anyone has anything else to say, you can answer this.
I have something totally random. It's I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm just really genuinely curious. Josh, you picked my name twice off the board. I'm just wondering why. Was it just it happened like that?
Yeah, I can't remember the specific circumstances.
Okay. I was just curious. It wasn't anything serious.
But we're both athletic guys who I think I view myself similarly as you. I just yeah.
No, I wasn't trying to
it's really nothing personal.
All right.
Really
I was just curious. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. I guess with that, we will get to the vote.
what's up?
Oh my god. God damn it. Oh my god, I'm doing it. Hola.
I think this vote's been coming a few weeks. Put a little emphasis in it because you called me out, and I don't appreciate that. So let me slide through this game. Thanks.
I said I was going to vote for you, so I just hope it's Sadie next time, Santi after that.
Nothing personal. Just helping Amanda out.
Alright. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright. Once the votes have been read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Delaram. Second vote, Amanda. That is 1 vote Amanda, 1 vote Delaram. Third vote, Amanda. Fourth vote. Delaram. That is 2 votes Delaram, 2 votes Amanda, 6 votes left. Amanda. Amanda. That is 4 votes Amanda, 2 votes Delaram, 4 votes left. Amanda. The 11th person voted out of this game and the second member of our jury. Amanda. That is 6. That is enough for tonight. Amanda. Try the spoken. Two easy votes. If Santi is true in saying that this is just like the start of the game, I guess this is where things start getting interesting. Angie, you live another day.
Not bad.
Head out, guys.
I knew it was coming. As soon as Morgan roasted me at the last tribal, I knew it was coming. It was a matter of whether I could convince people and rally people to vote for me. But I think once everyone realized it was a lost cause, they just went with the majority. I guess I never thought I'd even make it this far. My goal was to make merge, and I did, but then once I made merge, I really thought I could keep going, and I saw a path to the end. But I messed up when I trusted Josh. Josh was never gonna vote with me. It was definitely a really good experience, but it's gonna take me a little time to really get over this. I hope I'll get to play again. I doubt it'll happen, but I really want to play again.
Next time on Survivor. After a difficult vote, the majority is splitting and new sides begin to form.
Final 5, us 3 girls. Josh is literally the crucial piece of this.
Because if we have me, Santi, and Tim, we would just need one more.
And a previously bottom player has the chance to change the trajectory of the entire game.